everybody. We are finally back for another Marvel Universe Chats with Matt. If you are new here and you are finding this for the first time, click up in the eye. We've done...
Click up in my eye. What are you doing? The dangerous finger pokes coming in.
Yeah, I think it's up there. So, yeah, watch the rest of it. Catch up with us. We're not new, but I'm Jamie. This is Matt. He's my Marvel comic book geek expert person, and I'm just enjoying the Marvel Universe.
This is starting to change because I know the comic books and I've seen the movies. She does intensive research on the actors.
Or something.
Not the
like
actresses.
That. But this chat, we're going to catch up with you about Scarlett Johansson's settlement with Disney, the What If, we finally finished. We saw Shang-Chi, we saw the Eternals. And we're going to maybe talk about the Marvel timeline pushback if we have time. Or it'll be another video, the Disney Plus day, and the Spiderman No Way Home trailer.
Yeah, just to put this in time context, the No Way Home trailer just dropped yesterday, so.
As we're filming this. Yeah. Hopefully I'll get it up in a timely manner. But the first thing up was, we talked about Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit in the last video. We're glad that she settled with Disney, right?
Well, sure. I mean, anytime mommy and daddy stop fighting, it's kind of nice to have the house be quiet again. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's, if there was a breach of contract, pure and simple, it's not going to make anybody lose face if they go, you know what, our bad, and then they do something to fix the situation and move on. And I thought it was kind of cool that they were instantly like, well, we look forward to working with Scarlett again, and they've already named a movie that they have with her attached to, I believe. Yeah. So, cool.
Hopefully that's still...
Because I've got to imagine that for a lot of actors, actresses, whatever, it's probably pretty difficult to go up against the biggest studio in the world. Because even though retaliation is never something that should happen, you're probably always scared of it, even if it's a company that wouldn't do that.
Yep. So it's great that she settled. Sad that we're not going to see her in the Marvel Universe anymore.
Is that 100%?
Well, they killed off Black Widow.
Well, yeah.
But...
Oh my god, spoiler, Jamie, what?
But...
We did get that whole movie after she died. Anyway.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be a prequel.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I know.
So we probably won't see her for a while, depending on how everything with the multiverse pans out, you know.
That's actually kind of amazing, because the multiverse means that anyone could come back for any reason at any time. Okay.
But I mean, her contract's done currently.
Oh yeah, contracts are all done, and it's probably pretty difficult to live at a pace that constantly keeps you in Marvel shape. So
that's true. So speaking of the multiverse, What If, the animated series, came out on Disney Plus during the time we've been gone. We watched it all. What did you think of the series? I personally loved it. I know you didn't love the zombie episode.
I've never been a big fan of Marvel Zombies, so when Disney Plus Day came around and they were like, we've got fan favorite, we're doing a whole series of Marvel Zombies.
Spoiler for the thing that we're going to talk about later.
Like, yeah, alright, whatever. But that's just me. I've never been a big zombie fan. Don't get me wrong, there are rad zombie movies, and Walking Dead is pretty incredible, but yeah, just not my jam. The part that got me at the beginning, and I thought this was actually really clever looking in the scope of the full season, at the beginning there was parts of me that were kind of disappointed. It felt like I was getting the Cliff's Note version of a story. Because like the first episode was Captain Carter, right? And you got the entire Captain America First Avenger movie squished down to about 30 minutes, but Peggy gets the super serum and not Steve. Okay, all the other beats were pretty much exactly the same. And so it was like, okay, well that's fun, but what's going on? And then it started to get crazier and weirder and more off the path the farther along you went in the season. I think bro, like douche Thor, whatever, he, like party boy Thor, that episode was like, oh, okay, they're finally doing something that really does feel genuinely weird. And then at the end of it, when you think you got a whole episode that's based off of comedy, at the end of it, suddenly, Ultron Vision shows up. I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. And then, yeah, just to progress from there and have it be like, you know what, this was a story weaved together all along. That was pretty cool. And that's very true to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The comics were always just like, this is it, and this is just this one thing in its own little bit. And unless it was like ridiculously popular, that was the end of it. But this, I felt, was really, really fun. And the animation was beautiful.
And we're gonna get that episode that they skipped for season 1 and season 2, which will be cool.
What did they say what the episode was or what it was about?
It is supposed to be like the one where they ended up when they ended up fighting Ultron at the end in that multiverse thing. Mm-hmm. So they picked up, what was those two characters? Rocket and somebody on that star thing. Where they...
Technical terms. I hope you can all keep up out there. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
okay. So you're supposed to figure out, the episode is supposed to be why they were there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is what they're saying, but in the timeline it's just like, oh yeah, life keeps going. Okay, so we saw Shang-Chi
twice.
Yes, we saw it in theaters, and then we recently saw it yesterday in IMAX version on Disney Plus. It was fun. I liked it. I liked all the Asian references and all the throwbacks in there. I thought it was funny that Shang had a poster of this old indie movie Warriors on his wall. I love that Tony Leung was in it. I loved Michelle Yeoh in it. It was great. What did you think?
I nothing but thumbs up for me. It was
and Ben
great.
Kingsley.
Dude, yeah, him coming back as Trevor Slattery was just hilarious. I love that character because he's so oblivious, and just when you think he can't get to be more of like a ditz, he somehow surpasses himself, and that's genius. So of course there's that idea of like, there's that fine line between enlightenment, knowing everything, and stupidity, knowing nothing. And just the fact that he was such a dolt, he was the only one who understood Morris, that was beautiful. Morris is great. I don't care if he was there as like the adorable cuddly Pokemon that we were all supposed to just want toys of. I don't care. Morris was fantastic.
That whole when you got to Taulo and there's all those mythical animals. Oh.
Yeah, that was... Welcome to Generation 29 of Pokemon. Yeah. But it was very good. I mean, just everything about it. I like the idea of playing around with the heroes and letting them be people, just like your regular people, and then they have something, because yes, Shang-Chi has that whole background of being trained as an assassin and all of that, but he goes out of his way to be like average dude, and I think that's great. Because you don't get a whole lot of that. Even Spiderman, who is like forcibly an average dude because he is average dude through, his life up until the spider bite, it's like as soon as he got the powers, then he was hero. He was the hero guy. He was the balancing act and all of that. Shang actually felt like it was just like, yeah, I've got all these cool killer abilities, but let's go do karaoke. I loved it.
I also so we also watched the behind the scenes for that, like in the making. I think it's called Assembled on Disney Plus. If you haven't watched those, you should watch those. They're really fun. And I love how they talked about like updating the script and having Asian writers in it and making it funny and like not doing that like Asian whitewashing of Asian.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of whitewashing that would
like
go on. No, I mean in the comic books even. It was in a much worse way. It was kung fu exploitation. You know how they used to like they had like Blade and Power Man and all those types of characters, Luke Cage, those were all kind of created during the blaxploitation era of film and pop culture. And I mean, Shang-Chi came out right around the same time as the song Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting. You know, that it's that kind of mentality. And it's one of those like, well, the door is open. It's not the door we wanted to be open, but walk through it, kind of a feeling to the old stuff. So I like that there was a certain level of, we know where this comes from, but honestly, I don't even want the original text, the original comic book source material of Shang-Chi to hold any sort of sway over the movies or the characters, and it didn't. And that was kind of what made it brilliant. It was like, all right, we're going to take this and make it something new and much more realistic, which I thought was awesome. Yes, a Marvel movie being realistic.
That was cool. So the next movie that was out recently that we saw is Eternals. I liked it, and the world building and the characters. There were certain little beats that were off, but I thought it went deeper for characters.
Yeah, it was, and I think you should have known that going into it. Anybody who's like, this isn't a Marvel movie, it's like, well, yeah, that's kind of the point. It was supposed to be something else.
Yeah, and all the people that were doing press for it, or they were like, oh, it's more of like, what did I tell you, art house, Marvel art house on a bigger budget scale.
Yeah, so it's hard to call anything art house when it stars. Like,
yeah, but you might not like it in that terms, like.
Yeah, the overall storytelling techniques and the pace of it and all of that. Yeah, it's different, and honest to God, I feel like sometimes the movie fans are starting to be like the comic book fans, and that's not a compliment. A lot of the comic book fans are like, give us something new, don't rehash the same junk that we've seen a million times. And so writers and editorial staff will step in and create something new, or an artist will develop a new style or a costume or something, be like, all right, here's something new. And the fans immediately turn around and be like, no, we don't want something that's actually new. We want the same thing told in a new way. And that really just hamstrings the creative forces behind it. Like, and I'm not saying that I'm above it. I love the classic stories. I do. So I'm okay with seeing yet another origin story. But at the same time, you've got to be willing to start pushing forward. And I felt like Eternals was one of those ways where it's like, all right, let's take you slightly outside of your comfort zone, but at the same time, it's still funny. It's still got all the visual style of a Marvel. The only difference that I would say the visual style takes between Eternals and the rest of the MCU is that the colors are much more muted. And that is the only thing that I'm like, I feel like that might work against it. And that's because the other movie house where it does all muted colors is DC, and DC ain't doing so awesome in a lot of the superhero movies. So that is a thing to consider, but again, overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fun. There were so many philosophical questions raised in the movie that it reminded me a lot of what you got in Loki. Loki, as much as there was like action and like, okay, who's, the variants and what's this mean and what's that mean, there was a lot of philosophical questions in Loki, and that's what I thought made it so genius. Eternals has some of that too, and that just That's just me personally. I dig that.
It was very cool. I liked it. Did you find it to be like that token here's a token multiracial thing to soothe these masses.
The united colors of the Eternals? Yeah.
Well, I mean, just in like how they're multiracial in this movie, as far as an Expanse goes.
No, I mean, I'm not going to say that doesn't come into play. I mean, to do that would be like saying, I don't see color. It's like, well then dumbass, you're negating a huge aspect of the storytelling. So I'm sure it comes into play, but I don't think that was like I don't feel like that was the primary drive. Like, honest to God, you want somebody funny to be Kingo? Yeah, Kumail Nanjiani is who you should get. Sorry about that. I was off on a tirade. Now I'm going to try and jump back on the rails. No, if you want someone who's funny to play Kingo, you should get Kumail Nanjiani. The fact that he is also... I mean, the whole idea of the Eternals is that they kind of seeded the cultures. It lends itself perfectly to being multiracial, multicultural. Like, that's what should happen. So I thought all of that was fine. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the fact that, you know what? Yeah, if it's multicultural, multiracial, then I don't... So long as it's not done as some kind of a pandering ploy, rock on. Do it. Yay, Eternals.
You know what I thought was really cool about Eternals?
No.
The girl... The girl, who plays that deaf girl who signs?
Yeah.
She's actually deaf.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
I like that. I like the fact that it was...
took that time to...
Just, yeah, it was very smooth. Like, it was never a big deal. There was nothing about... Like, that's the kind of representation that I think is pretty freaking awesome. More fat people on TV. No, I'm just... Not ones that are married to, like... Anyway, never mind. I'm trying to, like... Yes. Not in the Flintstones, Family Guy kind of way. I mean, like... Anyway.
Yeah, so fun. Recommend Eternals. Excited to see more from the Marvel Universe. So, in that note, what do you think of the... So, it was recently announced that Marvel is basically pushing back all their things for 2022. There is some discussion about whether it's VFX or just timing with COVID or what it is, what's going on with that. So we're not getting all the Marvel movies until July?
Okay.
Or something like that. Several months later.
I don't know about everybody else, but since about March 2020, time has stopped being a thing. It all just kind of fudges together. Getting something in February of 2022 versus July of 2022,
or May or something.
Yeah,
like
it's not gonna kill me. We're getting the movies. Be happy. Be happy. I'm freaking thrilled. Yeah. So it's sure. Is it annoying? Sure, but that's fine. It's like being told that your flight is delayed due to mechanical error. Yeah, it's annoying that your flight is delayed, but I don't want to fly with broken mechanics. Like,
yeah. So I'm super excited that we're still gonna get the movie. Like, after Spider-Man, it's supposed to be Doctor Strange and the multiverse, which
I might be more excited for Doctor Strange than just about anything.
I mean, else. Granted, we're going to wait till like May or July. It was one of those big dates in there, but not March anymore. And apparently Benedict Cumberbatch said that they were doing reshoots for things, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm okay with that.
Hopefully that means they have big long plans down the line. That's what a lot of times reshoots nowadays don't necessarily mean something's gone horribly wrong and the movie sucks. Sometimes it means ooh, we had this really great idea, and to make it, to seed that idea or to make everything flow nicely, we've got to redo a couple things. Okay, whatevs.
So, very excited about that. Oh, so then, I guess since we are still very short, we can talk about, do you want to talk about the Spider-Man trailer or about Disney Plus Day and the announcements?
Oh, let's go chronologically. So let's go Disney Plus Day.
So Disney Plus Day happened on the 12th of November. If you're watching this, it was a big, huge thing. You can watch the Marvel presentation. It's like 9 minutes long. There's like a very rather lengthy spiel about what happened in the past year, like doing scenes from all the shows and stuff at the beginning of it, and then you can skip.
That's true. When she played it, I thought she was watching the one from last year. I was like, oh yeah, these all the stuff that we saw. Okay. And then it suddenly kicks in with something new, and it's like, okay, about time. Nice.
Yeah, it was longer than you would have liked it to be, but you're like, cool.
For that one person who has no freaking clue what the Marvel Universe is up to right now, but tuned in anyway.
But one of the big things that happened in that segment was that we got a longer extended trailer of Hawkeye, which was good. I mean, we haven't really seen press on Hawkeye yet, or it's ramping up.
I want this to be good. I want this to be based on like at least a little bit of like the Matt Fraction stuff. I want this to be good. There are little signs in there of them actually taking the Hawkeye's been doing this too long, and I don't mean like I'm too old for this, that kind of a thing. But in the comic books, Hawkeye is mostly deaf because he's a regular dude fighting with the Avengers. There's enough stuff that happens where it's just his hearing has been damaged, and that's fascinating to me. That's one of the things, because one of the few superheroes that actually can communicate with Hawkeye no matter what, because he knows fluent sign language, is Deadpool. It's just a little fun fact. But there were a couple scenes in that trailer that almost made me think they might start introducing that. And we're gonna get tickets to see Rogers the Musical.
Yes. Can somebody give me that, please? Make it real, make it happen. I know that was supposed to be a nod to Hamilton.
Stupid prediction.
Please.
Yes. Can Lin-Manuel Miranda just like pop up in this series for like a second? Like make Lin-Manuel Miranda canon in the MCU. That would be rad. I would like that very much.
But yes, that's coming up. They had officially, what was it? Oh, we had a teaser trailer for She-Hulk,
which I am looking forward to because there's a lot of Hulk questions that need to be answered.
We had the teaser trailer for, is it Ms. Marvel?
Yes.
Ms. Marvel.
Kamala.
Which we're very excited about also. There was also... because the thing is that the comics version of Kamala Ms. Marvel is, she's like an Inhuman. Or she's a Skrull? Skrull. I think she's one way or the next. She's not human in not the sense of like she's just a human with superpowers or she's a mutant or anything like that. Like she is an alien. Like there is something about her. So I very much want to see that because that's going to just be a natural lead-in then for like Secret Wars, any of the Skrull-based stuff that's going to be coming up. Yes, Secret Wars was announced. What If Season 2, Loki Season 2, House of Harkness, which they announced that they are developing it. So fingers crossed it keeps going. Secret Invasion. What else was
Secret Invasion, yeah.
What else was announced?
My big one.
Oh, Marvel Zombies, which
not Marvel Zombies. That's not my big one. Can I say it?
Yes.
Can I say it? Moon Knight.
Oh.
I love Moon
Knight, Echo, Spiderman freshman year, Ironheart. The Moon Knight teaser trailer looked good. I Am Groot and X-Men 97, which I'm kind of excited about. I wasn't like super huge on the X-Men, but you know, I watched it to be cool with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Bring back the characters, bring back the style. I want to know that. I want to know, is Morph going to be a good guy or a bad guy now? All of it. All of it. But no, Ironheart, going to be awesome because she is the successor to Tony Stark, in theory. Like in the comics, that's what she is. So I'm fascinated to see what they're going to do with that. Secret Invasion, that's all your Skrull stuff. Okay, yes please. What were the other ones? Echo. Echo is a fascinating character. I think she's deaf as well.
Maybe. They just... I don't think they really talked about it. They just showed the graphic for that.
But she's got like the handprint on her face. It's super cool. There's a lot there with that character. And then... Actually, I almost wonder if they're going to tease her in some small way in Hawkeye, because she's done some overlap stuff with Hawkeye. But honestly, it's Moon Knight for me. The comic books are, right now especially, are fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's about a guy with multiple personalities.
Oscar Isaac, oh man.
Oh, well, okay. Let's go back to talking about Scarlett Johansson, shall we? No,
I mean, could you imagine anybody else in that role, though?
Well, with multiple personalities, I can imagine about 5 people in that role. But no, yeah, he's going to be phenomenal at it. The whole point with Moon Knight is that he is the avatar, the fist of Khonshu. So it's basically a moon god of ancient Egypt, and he protects people at night. That is his church or whatever. But Khonshu is not a nice god. And so Moon Knight, who again is mentally a little off center, because it's not like he's got any of this under control. He's brutal. And one of the greatest things about it is that people always call him like the Marvel Batman. Not the case, but whatever. I can understand that. He dresses all in white. And people are always like, you go around at night, why the hell would you dress up in all white? And the whole thing with Moon Knight is like, oh, well, yeah, I'm not sneaking around. I want them to see me coming. I'm going to beat the hell out of them. And he's a very brutal hero. He's not quite Punisher level, but he's not far off. And the fact that he's got all of that inner turmoil with like 4 different personalities chorusing in his head. One of them's a mercenary, one of them's a businessman, one of them's kind of a bum, and I think one of them is an 8-year-old girl. It should be really interesting.
I'm also excited because I saw that preview. Somebody posted like previews that they ran into Mark Ruffalo and Oscar Isaac on the set together. So we might be getting a Hulk in the Moon Knights or something.
The more Mark Ruffalo we get, the better things are. I'm also 99% sold on that. I think he's awesome.
Yes. And at some point down the line,
Mrs. Dash of the Marvel Universe.
there is down the line, was it?
The Frank's Red Hot Sauce.
No, the Hulk.
What?
World War Hulk. Is that the movie that's announced?
Oh, was it? That should be interesting.
That's a rumor. Where I don't know. Marvel.
I'm surprised by that.
It said that Marvel.
World War Hulk. Okay, Planet Hulk takes a lot of Planet Hulk was used in Ragnarok. World War Hulk is the story that followed Planet Hulk. It's where he comes back to Earth, you know, because he was shot off in space. In the MCU, it was
doing that because Marvel got the IP back from whoever had it.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, hopefully a new Hulk movie starring Mark Ruffalo.
Or Mark Ruffalo.
Yes. And somebody also pointed out that they changed the She-Hulk logo. If you look online, it was like she in purple and then Hulk in green in that blocky text, like, and now it's like she/Hulk with a cityscape.
Okay.
More like procedural drama style.
Cool.
Like Law and Order and all that
Law and
stuff.
Order with punching.
Well, because she's supposed to be a lawyer, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now we get to the big thing that he's dying to talk about, is the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. If you've seen the poster for it, you know that it's okay. I will throw up.
She is suddenly like the arbiter of what is good Photoshop.
It's fine. I will throw up that poster, but then I will also throw up...
I will throw it up too. Bleh. No, I'm kidding.
I will throw up the other poster that this guy I follow, I Am Fires, or Everything Always on YouTube here. Subscribe to him if you want to go deep into it. But he posted this poster on his Instagram, and it's pretty
Super cool.
awesome. It's better than what Marvel did. I'm like...
I'm ridiculously looking forward to this. There is there's a couple of lines in there where I think it's Doctor Strange saying they're all supposed to die by Spider-Man's hands in their own universe.
Yeah.
Which Spider-Man's whole thing is like, can I be the hero and not kill? Like, obviously that's his thing. Can he not kill? Which is really interesting because people forget that Spider-Man does have the natural ability to wreck most people, most of the Marvel heroes. Not all, but most. Spider-Man can just wreck them physically. And so it's always an interesting thing where he's like, how do I think my way out of this so that I don't just resort to literally knocking someone's head off? So can he? Does he have to save the multiverse by killing these people? Because Tom Holland's Spider-Man doesn't really have a body count yet.
No,
kind of does with Mysterio, just kind of. But Andrew Garfield does with Electro, with Hobgoblin, right? And then Lizard.
But he
and then
has to
Tobey
send him
Maguire
home,
killed,
right? Yeah.
Killed for whatever reason. I'm not saying he killed him, but like because of their fight. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm really interested in that. The fact that we get Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock, the movie already won. For me personally, the movie already won.
Oh, and
Doc Ock's been one of, if not the greatest parts of so much of the Spider-Man on film universe.
You don't like Goblin?
I like Goblin. And I like Willem Dafoe because he's crazy, but I'm like, come on, if we're ranking Spider-Man villains as they've appeared on screen, if you put anyone at the top above Doc Ock, you're wrong. Like, you're objectively wrong. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yes, I was super excited, hyped with the trailer. We got to see more of the villains. We saw Doc Ock, we saw Green Goblin, we saw Electro, we saw Lizard, we saw Sandman.
We saw hints of Sandman. What I haven't seen yet, and I hope we do get, is the return of Michael Keaton as Vulture.
Yeah, they haven't named the sixth villain, if they're doing the Sinister Six, which, I don't know. Yes and no. There's some hints about here and there which villain is coming. Everybody's yelling Mephisto online.
Dude,
also.
Shut up with the Mephisto. Everybody shut up about Mephisto. Mephisto is a crap MacGuffin. That's all he is. In the Marvel Universe, he's there as like a crappy devil, like what you would stereotypically believe to be the devil stand-in. And that... basically, you bring him in, it's like, what? We need to do something, and we just need to, like, make it wrong. Like, we have to do something stupid just to reset things or to put them into a new perspective, and we need some kind of a linchpin. Just get Mephisto to do it. Mephisto sucks. Using Mephisto is lazy, and Mephisto sucks. He just does. There is no other way around it. You go back and you read One More Day and then Brand New Day, and it's all from Mephisto, and it's just stupid. Don't put Mephisto in there. Also, he can't be Sinister Six because he's literally from a hell dimension. You can't beat him. You can just get rid of him for a while. Like it's. Shut up with Mephisto. Mephisto, he's stupid.
Or, you know, Doctor Strange being possessed or something. I don't know.
Dormammu. I'd believe Dormammu before Mephisto. But hey, if it does end up being Mephisto, man, I hope they write it better. What can I say?
But the trailer does look good, even though they covered up some things.
Oh yeah, the belief that like the other Spider-Men were in the picture, but they digitized them out.
Yes.
And then they, like, I love that, the evidence of, like, who's punching Lizard? And you just see the Lizard's head just, like, and snap and...
Yeah. Sorry for spoiling that, but, I mean, if you didn't know by now, they are probably... They're in the movie.
And you're right there thinking, like, okay, so did they just take them out and leave the Lizard's neck snapping to nothing? Because they wanted to put an Easter egg in? Like, you know something's here, wink, wink. Or is it like... I am too lazy to do the work. You can't tell. But I love Spider-Man, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to Morbius. I'm okay. I'll watch that.
Okay. Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah. I still haven't seen either of the Venoms. And I've been told that I'm not missing anything, so.
Although there might be a thing at the end of Spider-Man. We don't know.
Cool.
Who knows? But that is about wrapping it up for this Marvel Universe Chats with Matt. We'll be back in a month after we see Spider-Man and he screams.
Mephisto sucks?
Among other things, or like...
Okay, not to jump in here and break the fourth wall, but in the words of the great Britney Spears... It is hot as a crotch. Can we go turn on the air conditioning because it's so loud? We turned it off.
Edit it.
No, don't edit that out. That's funny. That's true.
Okay,
Britney Spears said that on Saturday Night Live. Bye.